It's possible David de Gea made his last appearance for Manchester United in the FA Cup final defeat at Wembley. De Gea reacted late when Ilkay Gundogan scored his second goal in that game, and it was another occasion where the goalkeeper had disappointed, following embarrassing mistakes against Sevilla and West Ham in the previous weeks. The 32-year-old is out of contract at the end of the month, and although he was expected to sign an extension and reduced terms, the situation is not as positive as it once was, and a summer departure is increasingly likely. There is interest in De Gea from Saudi Arabia, and his 12-year stay at Old Trafford could be about to draw to a conclusion. If De Gea does leave this summer, he will need to be replaced, and the club have been tracking goalkeepers for some time now, with Inter Milan's Andre Onana and Porto's shot stopper Diogo Costa both heavily linked. United are interested in Anderlecht goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen as a backup option, but the 20-year-old is close to a move to Brighton. So who is the ideal candidate to replace De Gea and take his number? 1. Status? Our writers have shared their opinions below, explaining which goalkeepers they think should be signed. De Gea kept his distance from United supporters after his blunder against West Ham, and United should be distancing themselves from him. There is not a cogent rationale to tie him down on a new contract. In an ideal world, United would throw down the gauntlet to Dean Henderson and give him a season to prove himself as the club's number 1. And if he isn't up to it, then buy a keeper next year. Yet Henderson exercised the nuclear option when he burned his bridges with United last year, and he has had limited dialogue with Ten Hag. When Henderson's future was raised at the end of the season, Ten Hag could not be bothered to address it. He could be bothered to address Ahmad's. So United needs someone new in, and Andre Onana would be the most suitable external candidate. What's particularly damning is Brentford and Brighton are doing what United should be doing: signing new goalkeepers in anticipation of keepers leaving. Verbruggen, seemingly en route to Sussex, was on United's radar, and just consider Brentford addition Mark Flecken, a ball-playing keeper who kept 13 clean sheets, the highest in the Bundesliga last term, and cost £11 million. Why aren't United doing something like that? And those probable departures at Brighton and Brentford, Robert Sanchez and David Raya, have ousted De Gea from the Spain squad. Both merit United interest. It says everything you need to know about how De Gea finished the season that Ten Hag is now considering the drastic decision of letting him leave for nothing and recruiting a new first-choice goalkeeper, in a summer when his budget is limited, certainly compared to last season. For so long the ideal scenario has been for De Gea to do one more year and to sign a younger backup goalkeeper who might be ready to inherit the gloves in the summer of 2024. Those plans are being ripped up, and in the process most of United's transfer plans this summer are going in the shredder as well. Verbruggen is clearly a non-starter if De Gea leaves. He isn't ready to be a number 1 for a club of the size and stature of United. Henderson probably warrants a look in preseason, but he has torched relations at the club and is also a sellable asset. If it's an elite keeper that Ten Hag now wants, then Onana fits the bill. Inter's financial difficulties might force them to sell, and he is brilliant with his feet. He fits Ten Hag's style, but then the two already know that because they worked together at Ajax, when Onana played 145 games under the current United manager. Alternatively, David Raya is an option, but this would be a step up. He is world-class when it comes to distribution, but is he world-class when it comes to goalkeeping? There's a budget that must be worked with this summer, and splashing on a new goalkeeper is not something Ten Hag was preparing for over the winter. But some of De Gea's displays in the latter stage of the season were indefensible. It's obvious De Gea does not align with Ten Hag's long-term vision, and he will inevitably hold the rebuild back if signing a new deal. There are better goalkeepers out there to replace him, but the most pragmatic option is already on the books. If Henderson hasn't burnt his bridges with that punchy interview last year, he should be given the season to prove he's got the quality to be United's first-choice goalkeeper, something he's dreamt of since he was a child. Henderson hasn't had the opportunity to be number one at the club for a season, and giving him the chance he desperately wants would allow other positions to be prioritized in the market, like strengthening at striker, midfield and centre-back. It might transpire the 26-year-old isn't good enough across the season, but it seems like a calculated gamble worth taking.
Now